Knife.
And this is a boning knife.
Looks
boning
like it's
knife.
had a lot of use.
We work our way right around the hip. The hip bone is coming out very easily. And then you see the beginning of the bulbous area of the leg bone.
Okay, that's that joint.
The hip joint,
Okay.
right. What I like to do is make a indentation here right at the kneecap, okay? From this point to the bone over here, you make an imaginary line, and that's where the bone should run. So all we're trying to do is expose the bone, take the meat away from the bone.
Now, I've read that lamb
bone.
really has like only 137 calories per serving.
Lamb is not fattening. It really gets down to the amount of fat that is left on. So
Can I check the chicken?
Yes, please do. I'm going to continue taking this bone off. How's it looking?
Well, it's looking good, and those eggplants are doing their job.
Just beautiful.
So we'll turn it completely over.
Now there is a little gland in here. Can have a strong smell after it's cooked. And it's right between the top round, this is the top round muscle, and this is the bottom round. Right between there. See that gland?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we're taking out this inner fat that really doesn't have to be there.
So by butterflying, what we're really doing is spreading out the meat into a almost equal thickness.
Yes, that's what we want to do. And the way we further butterfly it is to take our knife and go into the top round, open it up, and flap it open. Just make it into a flap like that. That evens out that side. So we do the same thing on the other side, and there it evens out. Now what I like to do, even to take it a step further, is to take some wax paper, parchment paper, and even it off with a cleaver. Now, of course, if you don't have a cleaver at home and you have to be a little innovative, well, take the back of a heavy iron skillet and just whack it. And there it's finished, and you have a nice, even butterflied leg of lamb.
That's great. Okay, so now the marinade.
So I'll start with 1 cup of a dry red table wine, and we'll just pour this all over the lamb. We're going to add 3/4 cup of balsamic vinegar.
The mint smells so good.
And we have 1 clove of garlic, nicely minced, nicely chopped. We have the mint, the parsley, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
Well, I'm putting thyme, is that right? Mostly thyme leaves.
Right. Now, this will stand in the refrigerator for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Okay, and what you come out with is this.
Now, another thing that Thilobels love to do with their grilled meats is to grill vegetables.
Yes.
And because we're using those cabbage leaves on that wonderful roast, we're going to grill cabbage, which I have never done. I think it's important when you're going to grill cabbage to keep that core intact so that the leaves don't fall off.
The same with something like endive.
Yeah, we're going to do that too. Your favorite.
This is great.
Just take a little bit off of the bottom. So I'm just putting a little tiny bit of olive oil.
That looks great.
And salt. Tiny bit of garlic on the cabbage.
A little more lemon juice. Looks wonderful.
So those can go on the grill anytime.
But first, I think we'll put the leg of lamb on.
Yes.
What I'd like to do is pat it dry.
So the total cooking time for the lamb is about 40 minutes.
We're going to start it on direct heat.
And I think your dad better come and check this roast again. Oh, Leon!
You want to put the cabbage on now, maybe?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, you don't. Let's put it here. You don't want to burn it now. I want the meat to be over the coal.
Oh, you do?
Like this,
Oh, you
yes.
want it on the coals. Oh, okay,
Yes.
good. They get a little bit of the flavor of that rib roast.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to keep this on for about 5 minutes, flip it over, another 5 minutes, then we're going to move it to the indirect heat.
Okay, so now you and I can go and have beer.
I'm ready.
We have nothing to do.
That's perfect.
Well, now, while the rib roast is finishing off, Leon is going to make us the sauce that goes with it. Now, this I want to see.
Okay, I'm going to show you. But for the people...
I'm so glad you came here today.
Thank you.
And here's your son
Time
trying
to flip the lamb. And there we go. Nope,
Oh,
that's perfect.
yum.
And what I would do here is just take a little olive oil, possibly with a little kosher salt, and just brush a little bit on. Okay. Now what this will do is just cut the wine and the vinegar a little bit.
So let's make our sauce. For the rib roast,
Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and start with the olive oil. 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
3 tablespoons.
That's 1,
Because we're gonna have to heat this.
2, 3, and just in case, a half.
Okay, and so I should heat this up?
Would you please?
Okay.
Now a half a cup of wine, a red burgundy, salt and pepper to taste. 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now, this is 1,
Looks like a teaspoon to me.
2, 3. That makes 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
With a pinch. Put that into the hot oil.
Okay, here's your oil.
Boy, that is bubbling in no time.
And so we bring this to a simmer?
Yes, ma'am. Now we're gonna put in a tablespoon of butter and the button mushrooms.
Oh, yum.
Slice them 1/8 of
Right
an
in here?
inch. Now we're gonna put in the parsley.
Okay.
Optional, demi-glaze.
And that is a reduction of a really, really delicious stock.
Now we're going to just stir this very slightly.
I think we can add that now.
Definitely.
What a flavorful sauce.
And we're gonna let it cook that way until the butter really melts and we get a nice bubble. And then we're gonna go ahead and serve our roast with this warm. Who is this?
Surprise.
Hi.
How's that looking?
The lamb is perfect, just about ready to come off.
How you tell that it's done?
The best way is to use the thermometer. Should be about 140, 145.
I think we'll get our meat off. I can't
We're
sit still
just at
sometimes.
140,
That's great.
so that's perfect.
Here, I'll hold this while you give me your rib roast. Wow.
Now that's a hunk of meat.
Oh, tell me.
So give us the vegetables too. I love how that chicken looks.
Isn't that beautiful? It's the closest thing to spit roasting without a spit. The total cooking time is 1.5 hours.
Beautiful.
Okay. There we go.
And we can put those eggplants right here too. And this is a good way to serve it, don't you think, right on the breadboard?
Fabulous.
With our array of knives, I don't think we have to have such an arsenal, though.
No, but we're butchers, and where we go, our knives go.
Okay. Why don't you show us how to carve, and then we're gonna eat.
Sounds good to me.
Remember what I did before. Now I'm gonna take the bone off the meat.
Oh, here are the nice bones. Boy, do they look good.
That's the best part.
Oh, I'll just start munching now.
As you see, we're gonna go ahead and as we cut in, it's gonna get pinker and pinker to medium.
Now, where do I get that knife?
At Lobel's.
There's a nice website at www.
Lobels.com.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Oh.
That's perfect, Ed.
Isn't that just absolutely
So
cooking on
that
the
is perfect.
outdoor grill?
So why don't you show us how to cut up the lamb, too?
Okay. What I like to do with the lamb is just separate the muscles. You get really nice slices, go against the grain, which is the way we want to slice. For instance, with this cut, the top round,
That's
you can
pretty
see
obvious.
it's pretty obvious.
I think I should cut up the chicken.
I think you're right.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do. We had a race and you won.
Take the legs off first. It's as nice as any roast chicken in the oven. And it has that added flavor of the outdoors. So perfect. Well, what do you think?
Couldn't be better.
I think you are a success as grillers, and I look forward with great anticipation the publication of your book.
Thank you.
Thank you both for
Thank you.
coming,
We do
and it
too.
was so nice to meet the father.
Thank you.
It was our
I appreciate
pleasure.
that.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.